channel and throughout social media. We're going to get you out of here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Discover Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us, we got Damian Sosh with us, Shane Mickle, Jay Briggs with us, Ninos, Wayne Scott, hopefully will sign us soon, Tony Brown, and Zawacky. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got this evening Sosh, Brown, Ninos, Mickle, Briggs, Scott, Zawacky, then I will close this. Right. The board tonight, 15 games from Major League Baseball. First pitch about 35 minutes from now for the first game. Also, the game 5 here of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Will Vegas hoist the trophy? We'll see if they host that Stanley Cup trophy. But let's get the show underway right now. Go ahead and welcome in Damian Sosh. To catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Damian's doing some great work over on the site. Catch him over there. Let's bring in Damian Sosh. And let's get the show ready to roll here. I think we're all set to go here with Damian Sosh. Let's see if we get him here in the screen. Ready to go. Damian, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Tony?
Everything's going great. All right, here we go tonight. We're looking at this Reds and Royals game. I looked at the line yesterday. I look at it today. I don't think the Reds they're not getting much respect, this Reds team. But anyway, Royals 104 each side, a total of 10.
Yeah, tonight's game, you're featuring Reds Brandon Williams against the Royals Jordan Lyles. Neither of these guys really has been too good this year. Both of them actually are looking for their first win of the season. Williamson, he hasn't recorded a decision in his 5 starts of the season. He's coming into this game with an ERA of 5.40. Lyles, meanwhile, he's coming into this game with an ERA of 6.84 and a record of 0-10. Obviously, it's been a real struggle for Lyles this season. Kansas City really as a whole, it's been a real struggle. They're just 18-48 on the year. They've lost 7 in a row. During that recent 7-game losing streak, they've been outscored 46-18 by their opponents. And I don't see that really being stopped tonight with Lyles on the mound. He's allowed 4 or more runs in 8 of his last 9 starts, and he's allowed 18 home runs on the season. The Reds, they're not really a team that's known for its power, but they're playing really good baseball right now. They won 3 in a row, 6 of 8, and they've actually hit 9 home runs in their last 10 games, so they are showing a little bit of power here. Even though Williamson is looking for his first win here this season for the Reds, they have won 4 of his 5 starts this year, and I like them to get this game tonight here against the Royals.
All right, we got Damian here coming in here with the Reds, minus 102 here against the Royals. I don't know if we can call the Royals favorites right now. Of course, they were favorites yesterday. When the line opened up, they've been horrible favorites. I think they're just 2-10 as a favorite. We'll see where this line closes, but this is close enough to be a favorite when you're here about minus 104. But I said this on the show, I think on Friday, where you're starting to see some sort of culture change now with this Reds team, because we're starting to see them creep toward that 500 mark. Remember last year they had that horrible start to the season. But these Reds, with these recent call-ups, you can see that you can start to see a bit of a culture change in this team. They're starting to believe in themselves a little bit more now.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, Matt McClain, who they called up maybe about a month or so ago, he's really shown what he can do. And obviously, just last week, Ellie De La Cruz. If you guys haven't tuned into him, he's absolutely a lot of fun to watch. So he's really coming on. They have a really good young staff, too. I mean, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo. So the future looks bright in Cincinnati. There's a kid that they have actually in AAA who's tearing it up right now. His name's Christian Encarnacion Strand. He's actually hitting 362 in Louisville with 17 home runs. I look for him to be called up here before the end of the season, probably sooner than later. The future is definitely bright in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Not the same for the Royals. Same old Royals here. Jordan Lyles team record 0-13 in his 13 starts. The bullpen has been terrible, near 6 ERA at home. Reds a minus 102 against the Royals. This one to have a start time here, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Damian, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, Damian put up some really numbers here over at Pick Dogs tonight. We got 15 games on the board for Major League Baseball with that big NHL game. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, big Major League Baseball card tonight, and there's 3 that I really like. They're all for sale at a good price over there on the website. My Major League Baseball triple play, and then I have my Major League Baseball high heat for sale for just $19. So hop on board, guys. Once that cashes in, hook yourself up with the long-term plan. That's definitely the best way to go to get the most bang for your buck.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dog Supreme. Of course, as Damon was saying, get the long-term pass. You know, he's got the 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. All of his pre and plays for that period of time. You select when you go to his handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. 15% off on the long-term passes. There's a 2-for-1 capper promotion. Add a second capper, and you will save even more money there. All right, Damon, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good night.
You as well. Damian Sosh here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We're going to go out to Las Vegas, Nevada. Exciting place to be right now. We could be seeing a major title come to Las Vegas here in less than this game starts in about 6 hours from now. We may see a new title there in Vegas. Remember, the Las Vegas Aces got the win. And now we may add the Las Vegas Golden Knights. But Tony Brown's going to talk some baseball today, and we'll go ahead and bring him in right now. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I think we'll get him in here in just a second here. Tony Brown, set to go. Tony Brown, what's happening?
Tony T, what's going on with you, bro?
It's going great. All right, here we go tonight out west as the Dodgers here face the White Sox. Dodgers big favorites, as you would expect when you look at these pitching matchups. Lynn and Gonsolin going head-to-head. We see here Dodgers favored minus 182. Total sits at 9.
Yeah, this one I'm surprised actually it hasn't got to the 200s, minus 200s. It should be more of a favorite. The Dodgers are going to pound the White Sox tonight. Lance Lynn, he might be looking at that Zach Greinke type, if he stayed a year too long, if he's coming to the end type guy. He's having the worst career start season of his career. He's 6.72 ERA. That's just a shade under 7 runs per game. And a lineup, which is one of the most dangerous for baseball. We're going to session. A lot of things add up and check the boxes for this. A day off yesterday. We're one of the best teams after a break with a day off. We're at home. We're one of the best home teams this season. We're playing one of the worst pitchers in the game in Lynn, and then we're bringing out one of the best pitchers in Gosselin. He doesn't get enough recognition when you think of the Cy Young Award people and the top pitchers. He's not really mentioned a lot, but for us, he's everything. You know what I mean? He's been Mr. Reliable, even when Kershaw was down with the injuries and stuff, and it's been the same this season, and he's got an ERA just a shade over 2. He's not giving up any runs. So with everything checked on the boxes, I know the games aren't played on paper, but some stats just can't be ignored, so we won't. I don't love that juice at 182, so we're going to just go ahead and take them on the run line and actually get plus 109, as I think the Dodgers win this one going away.
All right, Tony Brown says go ahead and take the run line. Do your shopping, get the best numbers, no doubt. We see some line variations, but get the plus there with the Dodgers if you're looking at that run line. No doubt, Lynn, it's just been a disappointment when you just see him on the mound. Again, he's getting hurt. He's getting hurt by that home run ball, Tony Brown. Yeah, the strikeout rate might be encouraging. That's but the only positive you see on there, 24%. But when 76% of the guys are making contact if they don't strike out or they're walking, right? But 2 home runs per 9 innings, he's been really hurt by that home run ball.
Right, and now that's what I said. His ERA is not. I didn't even mention his wins and losses, nothing like that. Just the ERA of 7 because he's been getting crushed with the long ball, and now he has to go against Freeman and Mookie Betts with guys on base and stuff. This one could get out of hand pretty quick. Yep,
Dodgers score runs and they hit right-handers. Tony here on the Dodger run line, lay the run and half, plus 102, plus 109. Do the shopping, get the best money for your bet here against the White Sox. This one will have a start time here of 10 p.m. Eastern time. This one will be on ESPN Plus. Also, MLB Network is going to air it too, simulcast this one. All right, Tony Brown. Let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, Tony doing great work in NHL. 1,468 units of profit. And also showing profit all sports combined across the board here for the year, the last 30 days, last 7 days. Yesterday, a monster performance. Take a look at the last 24 hours from Tony Brown. Been on absolute fire. All right, Tony Brown, we got a nice card, 15-game board, MLB, the single from hockey. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got my best 3 plays up on the board. I actually have 4 plays on the board. One of them is a bonus play for the members who get the monthly, weekly, or the yearly pass. But I have 3 plays up for everyone to buy and go ahead and break their bookie 3 times over. It's my NHL playoff perfect pick along with both my MLB laser locks. You can grab them individually or you can get my Tuesday 3-way 3-play and cash 3 times over.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs. Great results in NHL. You want to get on board with Tony Brown's three-star three-way play as well. Of course, here we are in June. Now, of course, if you're tuning in June, then you are definitely into baseball, right? Because it's pretty much baseball and a single and hockey. So we know you guys like your baseball. But Tony Brown, the best value right now is that 1 year all sports pass, because you get all the baseball that you put out for all of our viewers here during this baseball season, as well as when we get into football. And of course, we get back to another NBA season, another NHL season. That 1 year all sports pass is your best value.
Right. I mean, you could go ahead and grab the MLB season pass and all my baseball for the whole MLB season. You know, there's no football right now, no basketball. That's the hottest game in town. But just for a few more bucks, you can get the whole MLB season pass along with a whole VIP year. So when football starts back and the basketball and stuff starts back, you're already locked in. You know what I mean? There's no sense of paying per day or per sport or per pass. This is a 365 days of play pass. And so right when the sport kicks in, you're already locked in for a full year from the time you buy. And if you're serious about making money, it's literally the only way you can go. You can't really afford not to grab that pass.
Yeah, get that 1 year all sports pass. Remember the promo code here, pick it, check out almost $200 off that 1 year all sports pass. All of Tony Brown's premium plays for a year, all the sports he handicaps, including the postseason. So that's something to keep an eye on there as well. All right, Tony, as always, great having the show. Have yourself a great afternoon, evening in Vegas. Enjoy the hockey game. I know it's a lot of excitement there in Las Vegas right now with the hockey, and we'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Yeah, by the time I see you guys Thursday, we'll be champions. So good luck for everybody who's rooting for the Knights. Everybody who's not, well, you should have.
That's right, Tony Brown. We know we got excited about the Aces parade, and you got even more excited for the Ice parade.
Man, that Aces parade was something else. We'll have to talk about it on another show, but outstanding. But I think I am actually going to go to this one, so we'll see how it goes.
You're going to actually go to this one, Tony Brown?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Knights parade for sure.
All right, so actually, you as a Laker fan, we've just concluded, and so looking at, every time someone wins an NBA title, they always talk dynasty. What do you think the Lakers got to do here to top Denver next season?
Get Kyrie Irving.
You think that's going to help?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we were the best team after the All-Star break, and we ran through the playoffs. We beat Golden State. Nobody expected that. We just went up against the Joker. It was his time. When it's your time, it's your time. But like when Dirk Nowitzki beat LeBron and that super team and all that, I mean, no one could stop the Joker this year. But it was no fault of the Lakers being bad. It was just him being too good. We throw an all-star point guard over there with LeBron and AD. I think we definitely will take them over.
Going to need to make the three-point shots. That's really what it came down to. And the Nuggets, he's making the shots. And we knew it when you hear Tony Brown's tone. I'm a little nervous. That stuck with me.
I'm serious. We had to make those three-point shots because we were forced into them. We're not a three-point team. If we had Kyrie with the ball and then LeBron, Roman, and AD in the middle, three-pointers would be the least of our concern. We'd just be putting up numbers and getting back on defense with a seven-footer that's only under 30.
Yeah, and again, I believe the Lakers were the second best team in the league. I think they were better than Miami.
Yes, for sure. They were. Like Kevin Durant made Phoenix a super team or whatnot, but they weren't gelled enough. They didn't have the experience, anything like that. That's the main component of why Denver won as well. I mean, the Joker played out of his mind, but even when he fouled out with foul trouble, those guys didn't even miss a beat. You know what I mean? Murray was ready. The supporting cast was ready. The coach was ready. So it was just their time. But talent-wise, I think the Lakers still have the best player in the game, the all-time leading scorer in LeBron, and with a little bit of help, you can never count us out.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, don't forget the Nuggets going to get a year younger with some of their older with some of their really good reserves like Braun and company there. But we'll see how they handle success. See how they handle it.
Yeah, to win a championship is hard and it's great, but to defend one, that's a whole nother ball game. But outside of injury and outside of the Lakers picking up that super third talent, Denver should win it again.
That's right. That's right. That's going to be interesting to see as we get into a new NBA season. Remember, the NBA season starts, I guess, in late October, 4.5 months away. We get the Summer League in Vegas. People like the Summer League. We'll be checking out all the hopefuls coming in. All right, Tony Brown, have yourself a great evening. Let's hope it's exciting weather in Vegas. We'll catch up with you in a couple days.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys in a couple days with my Knights championship stuff on.
Hey, how's championship gear on from the Vegas Knights? There you go, Golden Knights. All right, Tony Brown here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on our show. Ninos up next. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. He is a Laker fan as well, so I'm interested to see what he thinks about what Tony Brown had to say. I'll bring him in right now. What's up, Ninos?
I agree. We could use a veteran point guard. I mean, we're not the youngest team in the league, but we could definitely use a good point guard. That's for sure. It's definitely one of our missing pieces. And As far as Denver's dynasty is concerned, I think, people like to talk a lot, and it's a bit early to talk about all that. Sure, they're a good team with, yes, the best player in the world right now, but as Tony said, I mean, Jokic was literally playing outside his mind. Can he keep playing? Sure, he's going to play great for a long time, but can he play this great again for a whole season or down the stretch, particularly when it matters, remains to be seen. And again, I mean, it's going to take him playing at that level just to remain competitive. I still think like this team can be beat by almost, I don't want to say half the league, but quite a few teams I think can compete with the Nuggets on a nightly basis. So for them to have a dynasty like that, I think it's a bit early to be talking like that. Just my opinion.
A little early. We'll see how that rolls. They're always, keep an eye on those contracts. Let's see what rolls on with this Nuggets as we move forward. And of course, they did a good job in the draft last year, getting Braun, who was an impact player in the finals. Remember, he did help them win one of those games. All right, here we go. Tony Brown gave us baseball. El Nino's going to come in with baseball as well. Brewers and Twins going head to head tonight. We see the Twins at $1.27, total 7.5.
Yeah, two pretty disappointing teams coming into this one. And what we'll be looking at here is the Brewers. I know it's going to be rough looking at them coming off that series against the A's, getting swept by the A's. Yes, you heard it. That's not a typo or a mistake. No, they got swept by the Athletics. But again, the Twins haven't been much more impressive without Buxton in the lineup. They've been struggling without him, and I think with this matchup, the pitching matchup they got going tonight, I think the Brewers need to take advantage of it. And Corbin Burns, the much better starter than Pablo Lopez. Lopez, not the worst starter in the league, a very serviceable, good starter, but I think Burns is the more talented starter and has the better lineup backing him up, despite how bad they've been. Just think he quiets these, keeps these Twins bats quiet and gets enough run support from a team that I don't expect them to go nuts or anything, but score just enough to earn us the win here. Taking the Brewers on the money line.
Now Nino's taking the Brewers. I think the Central divisions are the Major League Baseball's disappointing divisions, AL and NL Central. Teams full of disappointment. Your Cardinals, your Brewers, your Twins, your White Sox. It's a land of disappointment there in the Central divisions. And I know Shane Mickle coming up next will probably agree because we had a lot of hopes for this Twins team. And with those bats, right, they were a really good hitting team. I think they were averaging over 5 runs a game. It was the starting pitching, the bullpen. They did get, they have had their share there of injuries there in the starting rotation, no doubt, with the Twins. Molly out. Also, who's the former Dodger, the Japanese pitcher? Maeda. Maeda has had some issues there, not being able to pitch. They've had some issues there in the starting rotation. Burns is someone, who we're starting to see a strike. We're starting to see the K rate come up for Burns. He's a 30% strikeout guy, right? He was carrying strikeouts in the teens. He was getting hit, but now we're seeing the strikeouts move up to 24%. The walks about 9%. Lopez, good pitcher in Miami. It's ERA around 4. I think he could do a lot better than that. But again, it's with both teams, it's about scoring runs here.
Yeah, I mean, you said this Twins team has been a fun team to back last couple of seasons again, but just not the same team without Buxton in there. I mean, he is not just a good ball player, but he is kind of the heart and soul of this team a little bit too. And they just don't look the same without him. So a few teams like that, if you take one of their best pieces out, they kind of it's hard to be the same without your best player in there. So fair enough, but you should. They still have enough talent to be better than what they have shown without him, in my opinion, at least. And again, tough pitch and matchup for them today. Burns had a rough start to the season, but yeah, coming in pretty hot here. Just he started off with a couple rough starts, but then just one bad start since then. And other than that, he's been pretty good this season and coming off a very good start. And again, against this depleted lineup, I think he does well enough here tonight.
Ninos here. Brewers, the plus 110, plus 117. Do your shopping. We got the sharpest book in the world up there as our line provider here for this game. This one have a start time here of 7:40 Eastern time. We're now Ninos. So let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. Of course, tonight on the board, we have 15 games here from Major League Baseball. Also on the board, we have that single here from the NHL. Big game 5 here between the Golden Knights Panthers going head-to-head in Vegas. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
I got my $19 Grand Slam up there, and I got a 3-pack that does not include that play. But I also got my best bet in tonight's hockey game. If you want to check that out, or grab one of those long-term passes, get all 5 plays. I also again, long-term and 2-for-1 capper passes. The only way to get all the plays.
That's right, guys. You got to go over the Ninos over at Pick Dogs, a premium. Of course, El has his plays up for that Grand Slam tonight, that $19 premium. Remember, the one-day passes are credit guaranteed. They must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credit back to your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. El Ninos with that great results in Major League Baseball this year. 1,100 units of profit, all documented. Get on board with El Ninos and one-day passes, or again, look for the long-term pass. If you're tuning in on June 13th, we know you like your baseball, right? So MLB season pass is available right now. Get all of El Ninos premium plays from Major League Baseball now until the final pitch of the World Series. So we get into near November, right? First. So we're looking here at about 4.5 months of baseball here, including postseason. So get on board with El Ninos. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off. That's $75 off that MLB season pass. All right, Al, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. El Ninos here on the Drive Thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Appreciate everybody in the chat room contributing there. Got Brett B, Ronalds, Fernando in there as well. Looking at Mark Carrasco's, Ocho Seis in there. Mike Davis in there. Ready to take your questions if you got any. Mike Davis in the chat as well. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Let's welcome in Shane and Mickle. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Shane right now. He's up there from Minnesota. We'll bring him in right now. Shane, what's happening? What do the Timberwolves have to do to get into that, to knock the Nuggets out of that Western Conference?
All this talk about what the Lakers need to do, and the Timberwolves also were the only team to win one game against the Nuggets in the playoffs, and they almost won 2. Now I think they're still a long ways away. There's a talk about Karl Anthony Towns being on the move. Does he stay? Does he move? But I think 2 things need to happen. McDaniels needs to not break his hand right before the playoffs as he punches a wall, and I think we need to bring Naz Reid back. I think those 2 things. This team probably isn't a real championship contender, but that team I think would be a team that can compete with Memphis. May win maybe a round or 2 in the playoffs, and then probably get beat by the Nuggets there in the Western Conference Finals or something like that. But yeah, I'm still excited for the future of this team. Anthony Edwards looks like he's the real deal, and yeah, if that includes trading Cat so you can build around Edwards, I have no issues with that.
There you go, Tony. We got Shane Mickle here. Hails from Minnesota. Knows this Minnesota. Of course, right now we're probably working on Big Ten football. So we're not too far away that as well as the baseball. He does a lot of work over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. Tonight, we got West with baseball. Look at these Athletics. I guess their season began in June. I guess they took 2 extra months of spring training, and now they're ready to play MLB. Athletics here hosting the Rays. Rays, as you expect, big favorites, -199, total of 9.
Yeah, it's an interesting game for a few reasons. The Athletics are obviously playing well, and they have the reverse protest tonight, where they're planning on trying to sell out this game instead of having the 3,000 or 4,000 fans that they have in the stands. So, yeah, you'll actually hear crowd noise tonight in Oakland, which will be a big change. I think all those fans that show up will leave happy. There's 2 openers going in this game. Hogan Harris will be the main starter out of the bullpen. Coming in the second inning for the A's, and his stats are a little misleading. He has a high ERA, but that's because in his first appearance, he went 0.1 innings and gave up 6 runs. But since that point, he's been strong. He picked up a win in the last game. What you're going to kind of get with him. You're going to get 5 or 6 innings. He's probably going to give up 2 or 3 runs. And I think against this Rays team and the pitching, I think that's going to be enough. I think the A's, they're not a team that really, scores 8 or 9 runs, but I think 5 will be enough to get it done. I think they get up to that 5 mark, and I think they send their, a lot of those fans happy for the last time. As seeing their team play in Oakland, I think there's plenty of value here with the A's on the money line.
All right, Shane says take Oakland Athletics +186 here against the Rays. And yeah, we've seen some of these power teams in the past going to Oakland and have trouble dealing with those ballpark dimensions. Remember, Atlanta Braves had struggles scoring there. And that series came to mind when I saw Tampa Bay come into Oakland.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a it's not a power, really a power team. They still have some power, power in their lineup, but they're a team that likes to dink and dunk for their runs, and that's tough. That's sometimes tough to do with the big ballpark in Oakland. I think that they're gonna have troubles in this series, and even I think there's plenty of value in all the games with the A's.
Yeah, we got no doubt about that. The A's here at plus 186. They've been big dogs, scoring some big wins here for dog supporters. Athletics plus 186 against the Rays. This one will have a start time here, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Shane, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, Shane showing great results in NHL, 868 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dog. Maybe you can verify that by going to Shane's handicapper page over on the site. You can verify all those numbers. All right, tonight we have that big Stanley Cup final, Game 5 up tonight with Vegas and Florida. Of course, we also have 15 on the board for Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I've got that. Of course, I've got to play on the one NHL game. It felt kind of cheap calling it my play of the week, just because it might be the only NHL play of the week. But it's a play of the week quality, but I didn't label it that. $29.99. I also love this baseball slate. I have 3 baseball games in a package for $39.99, and then I have my 2 best baseball plays and the NHL play in the package for $39.99. It's just about to be just baseball here for the summer, but there's still plenty of value, and you still save a ton of money with that long-term pass. So make sure to hop on that long-term pass. We'll make some money together all summer long.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Shane Mickle over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here, 868 units of profit. NHL, of course, Shane with that Stanley Cup final winner, a 3-pack from baseball. But again, your best value is that long-term pass. It's June. If you guys are watching, you bet baseball. It's June 13th, right? So we might consider that 1 month all sports pass. Get all of Shane's premium plays for 30 days, including all his baseball there at that low price. Pick is a promo code to save that 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there, right? Shane, as always, grabbing the show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of days. But everybody know your contributions over to Pick Dogs and Sports Chat place in written form.
Yeah, there's baseball still going on, of course, and then there's a little bit of NHL. If Tony gets his way, that'll end tonight. But otherwise, we'll have the NHL games up there the rest of the series. But then, of course, also UFC. Once English Premier League is back, we'll have that up there also. And then, of course, not too far away, we're going to be talking about college football, like you said, and the NFL will just be here before you know it. So make sure to check both Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs out.
We're less than 2 months away from the Hall of Fame game. Cleveland and the Giants, which means about a month away from training camps. Middle of July is a month away. So your thoughts on the Vikings?
Well, the Vikings fans are happy, and a lot of Viking fans are chuckling today with all the talk about Justin Jefferson not attending OTAs. And well, he was there, but who wasn't in OTAs was Stephon Diggs, the guy we traded for Justin Jefferson. So it kind of feels like karma for Vikings fans, but I've got high hopes. It's gonna be tough to get 13 wins again, but there's some upset with the moves that were made, but they're getting older. Dalvin Cook, Dalvin Cook can't seem healthy. At some point we're gonna have to move on from Cousins too, so it's good to get younger, and obviously it'll be interesting, but I'm excited.
Yeah, excited indeed. Training camp not too far away, right? We get into the middle of July, then we start seeing the rookies report, players start to report. They have to report early for the Hall of Fame players teams. Cleveland Giants will have to report about a week earlier than everybody else, but it moves quickly in the preseason in the NFL because they reduce the preseason. No doubt about that. All right, Shane,
I've seen that.
Go ahead.
The Vikings are having 2 joint practices this year. It feels like that might be the way. Instead of preseason games going forward, of course, the preseason games are still going to be a thing. But you might not see any starters in any of the preseason games. It might just be the joint practices where they get their real work in going forward. So that'll be interesting to watch. Yeah,
that is true. That is 100% true. It's the joint practices, and that's what you got to keep an eye on. So you're going to have to really change your viewing habits a little bit because some of these NFL Network they like to film those. So probably better scouting the league is watch those NFL Network games that they put on. When they show those joint practices, because that's going to be a little more telling than maybe a little for the starters. That is because you still always like to watch the preseason because you're always looking for those backups, so those reserves that could come in.
Yeah, definitely. The rookies who you never heard of, but they're going to make the team. But it'll get that gives that's going to make those rookies happier. Even with the 3 games, there was concerns about cutting down to the 3 games, but if those rookies are getting starts in those 3 games, it's not going to matter that there's not that 4th game anymore.
Yeah, that 4th game is turned into a bye week, which I think helps the teams cut down their rosters a little bit. Remember, it was a mad rush after that 4th preseason game to cut down, but now they have a little bit more breathing room for the coaching staff to evaluate a little better and make those final cuts. All right, Shane, have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.
Got it. Shane Mickle here on the Drive-Thru. Guys, if you miss any picks, we're going to recap at the end of the day. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. We'll welcome in Jay Briggs, who's found himself on vacation now, right? No NBA Jam session. The season's over. The NFL show is probably another 3 months away, so he's going to have a lot of time here. So we'll bring him in right now. Bring in Jay Briggs. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
It's happening. I just want to say we were touting the Nuggets since day one. I remember telling you that's the team I was kind of liking because I saw them in preseason, so I had a little bias there. And watching all their depth, when you see Bones, Highland, and whatnot in the 3rd team, you think, wow, that really woke my eyes. This Denver team's good. A lot of detractors were talking about Jamal Murray, but we kind of called it, right? Give Jamal Murray about 20 or 30 games and look out.
Yep. This was the first time, this group has really been healthy together. Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray have sustained injuries over the last 2 to 3 seasons, and it's kind of derailed some of their seasons. So this was the first time in a healthy run that they've had together. And Jokic, arguably the best player in the NBA right now, it all came together this year for them, and I'm happy for them to get their first championship in franchise history.
Yeah, it was good to see a little bit of team Paul there. Jokic more of a likes to pass but can score when called upon. So that was good to see the rebounding there, and again be able to get it done in that slow pace of play that Miami played, forced them into that slow pace. They were able to get it done with the rebounding, and of course the size. They have pretty good size, so it should be interesting to see. Any dark horse you're seeing from the Western Conference? Will we see the return? Will the Lakers be the one team? Is any Warriors? What do you see with going down the line here as we get into the free agency period? We're going to start to see announcements here with these free agents who will be available.
Way too early. They're going to clown me in the comments. I'm going to my team, man. I'm going to the Dallas Mavericks, man. I know we didn't make the play-in this year. We had a lot of roster turnover. But we have to remember, they made the Western Conference Finals just last year. And I think, with an offseason with Kyrie Irving, I know Tony Brown earlier said he wants him in L.A. Not happening, Tony. He's staying in Dallas. And I think, we put a substantial roster around those 2 guys, and I think they can make a run next year, honestly. Somebody else I like. One more. I think Oklahoma City with Chet Holmgren coming into the fold next season, if he can stay healthy. The step that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took, I love what Josh Giddey was doing. That crew is really young. I think, maybe not a finals run, but, we saw them in the play-in tournament this year. I think they can be primed for.
They got some picks coming too,
right?
Second
round next year or so.
They have some picks coming in. Some of these teams. Orlando's the team. Yeah, Orlando's another team with a lot of picks coming in. So
yes, sir. So those are just 2 teams off the top of my head in the West that should make things interesting next season.
Yeah, any East dark horses you see coming in, like we talked about Orlando. Some of these,
Orlando,
like the Thunder Buddies
Orlando.
of the East, Thunder Buddies of the East, where you're going to get a winning spread from there. They're going to the public are not going to be sold on them, but the smart people who follow the team and see the improvements will be on them and getting good underdog money from them.
Yes, sir. The last jam session I had with Brad, that's his team. We were talking about the Magic and how, Boncaro took a huge step, and down the stretch, the Magic played extremely great basketball.
Yep.
I was betting the Magic a ton on the jam session. We made a lot of money betting the Magic down the stretch. So, Fultz and their young crew, I could see them being taking a step forward next season as well.
Yeah, they weren't in the tanking mood. They said we're not going to teach losing. We're not going to be a tanker. As a matter of fact, Nuggets weren't a tanker either. Instead of they had to draft up like Jokic. They got Jokic late in the second round, so they didn't teach. They didn't have a losing culture with the tanking that some of these teams have. So keep an eye on Orlando. We know Orlando was pretty good underdog, but we'll keep an eye on that team as well. No doubt about that. All right, Jay, we're going to go over to the Jays, the Blue Jays here. It's in the Orioles. Here, a couple of birds. You guys, a couple of birds there in the AL East going head to head. Blue Jays here. They're loud creatures. You ever go camping Blue Jays wake you up, man. They are so loud. They are just so loud. In the morning, they just make so much noise. But anyway, Blue Jays here, minus 120, total of 9.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Battle of the Birds today. Blue Jays and the O's. We're in Baltimore. Now, the O's went into Toronto and swept Toronto in the first series this season. Due to that, I do like Toronto today. I think they come out and get some early revenge in today's matchup. Chris Bassett, I've liked what I've seen from him this season. I don't think anybody really expected him to have such a solid start to his season. I think he gets another good outing out of him. On the other side, Dean Kramer, he's not my favorite, man, and I sure didn't like what he had in his last outing against Milwaukee. He gave up 9 hits in 5 innings, 6 earned, 2 home runs. The Blue Jays, now, I know that, they've kind of been inconsistent, but they have won 3 of their last 5. They did win their last one. Baltimore, they did and have won 4 straight, but it's against a struggling Milwaukee team, a struggling, terrible Kansas City team. I think Blue Jays get triple revenge today. I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line on the road.
All right, Jay here on the Blue Jays here, money line minus 118 here with Bassett here on the hill. No doubt about that. We're going to have to see a turnaround here from this Blue Jays against the East. They've had their struggles, just 6-15 against the East. Orioles bullpen has performed well, but you're definitely going to have to see these bats for the Blue Jays, I think, to carry them in this series.
Yeah, and I do think we can see the Blue Jays bats show up today. Went for 7 runs yesterday. That's usually a positive. And I'm really banking on them being kind of mad at just how terrible they played against the East and the O's. They have to change that around if they want to, especially in such a tough division they're in, they're going to have to turn it around sooner or later if they want to make a playoff push. So I think it has to start, against teams like this, and I like them today on the money.
All right, we got Jay here on the Blue Jays, minus 118 against the Orioles. This one have a start time here, top of the hour. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick.com for nice action. 15 games on the board for Major League Baseball. Jay's having a fantastic year in Major League Baseball. 909 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. So baseball on the board, single from the NHL. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yes, sir. I didn't fire it up in the NHL tonight, man. I kind of leaned to the Panthers, but in that same breath, I could see Vegas hoisting it tonight. So I left it alone. I just have 3 baseball tonight for you guys, man. I absolutely love all 3 plays. I have them in a money-making 3-pack. Or you can just get my favorite play on the board, my $19 MLB play of the day, $19, man. It's included in the 3-pack as well, so you don't buy both. If you want them all 3, buy the 3-pack. And let's continue stacking some units in Major League Baseball, just trying to keep it rolling. Or you can pair me up 2-for-1 capper special with one of the other great guys here and let us carry you throughout the summer.
That's right, guys. You got a board with Jay Briggs over at Pick.com. Great results here. 909 units of profit from Major League Baseball. All documented over at Pick.com. So get on board with Jay tonight. Action here with that $19 premium play. As he mentioned, of course, the long-term passes will serve you well. If you want to try them out, you get that 1-month all sports pass. Get all of Jay's premium plays for 30 days, all his baseball as well. And then that will use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Jay, as always, great having the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see y'all later, man. Let's make some money tonight.
Indeed. Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed any pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Just in here, Braves and Tigers will begin a rain delay. The start time scheduled 7:40. That game is delayed by rain. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next here, we're going to bring in Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Wayne here in just a second. I think we'll all be set to roll here with Wayne Scott. Let's see where he's at. Ready to roll here, Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family?
It's going great, Wayne. All right, here we go tonight. We got Nationals and the Astros going head-to-head tonight in this battle. With the Astros big favorites here, minus 242. The total sits 8.5.
Yes, sir. And the Nationals on the road, like you said, minus 242. Just 3-7 in their last 10, and they're 26-38 on the season. But wait, 26-38 on the season. If you was betting every game with them, you'd be up $400. While this Houston team is 37-29 on the season, betting every game with them, you'll be down around the 50 to 60 buck range. Houston is 18 to 14 at home on the season. Nats are 14 to 17 on the road, and they are 14 to 17 as road dogs. So every time the Nats are on the road, they've been on the underdog. And these are the situations right here where you can make some money off them. They got their wily veteran on the mound, Patrick Corbin. No, he has not had a great season, but I do look for him to have a better game. They're 13-3 in their last 16 against Houston, so they play good against Houston. My man Corbin has a 5.7 ERA and a 1.7 WHIP on the road, but when he's on the road, these guys tend to back him, man. They know who he is. The Nats still respect this guy. Last time he was on the road, he got cranked up a little bit with 7 hits, 4 runs, but they still got the win, a 10-6 win over the Dodgers, and I can possibly see them coming in here and competing with Houston and getting a win tonight. So I like the Nats tonight. And Houston, they're a streaky team. I know they're one of the better teams, but they are a streaky team. They are 4-6. They did just come from a losing skid, and they're coming off an 8-game road trip, coming back for their first game. So they got their young guy, Hunter Brown, on the mound. He's been playing excellent this season. But his home night splits, he has been a little vulnerable in this situation. With that all being said and done, I can't lay minus 200 with my man. I'd rather be on the Nats tonight, and that's the side I'm going to ride with. Give me the Nats plus 230 where I got them at.
All right, do your shop and get the best numbers, 230, 218, 220. Shop and get the best numbers. You have no excuses. There are plenty of books out there now with legalization. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to back the Astros because of their low run production at home. That's always going to be an issue here with this Astros team. That's why you always think under with the Astros, because they have that solid pitching, but the offense just doesn't seem to click for them. And of course, one thing to note here, Patrick Corbin is pitching, shown some improvement. Listen, ERA 4.89 isn't all that good, but if you're Patrick Corbin, that's pretty good. What we've seen over the years with them. But of course, it is a contract year for Patrick Corbin, and I always joke about that he's auditioning for the Royals, because the Royals are the type of team that signs guys like this to a 1-year contract. And they have when there's no takers out there, then the Royals will throw a couple million at you and put a bunch of what do you call those things when they add all, if you pitch a certain amount of innings, they put a little extra terms where you can make more money based on performance. Yeah, that's right. They're going to add incentives to deals. So I think he's auditioning he's actually auditioning for a major league contract next year. Sort of what Greinke was last year. We talked about Greinke last year. He got a contract with the Royals again. And he's someone who's definitely auditioning for a Major League Baseball contract next year. He's got to think about it because it's been such a disappointment over this contract period.
Yes, if you can get some of these extra innings out these wily veterans, I mean, you go for it. But at the same time, I don't agree with giving up an arm and a leg for them. So if you can get some worth out of them, though, they still got some stuff. You just game for game with them. You just got to understand they're just not going to come and be consistent with it as much anymore. They're getting older, arms getting tired. So
belly getting bigger with all those millions, and the belly's getting bigger with all those millions. That's usually what.
Gotcha.
3 million. When you get into the 3-digit million, that adds weight on you. Automatically put on weight when you have $100+ million contracts. You add about 5 or 10 pounds just with that bank account. It just seems that's the way it rolls here. All right, we got Wayne here on the Nats plus, and we see it in boxing too. We definitely, these guys get that first big payday. What happens? They look a little more round around the stomach there.
Yeah, harder to make weight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You're eating good now. That's what's happening. Nationals plus 220 here against the Astros. This one have a start time here, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Pin for tonight's action. Of course, they're showing great results over the past 30 days, the last 24 hours as well, from Wayne Scott. All right, Wayne, single from the NHL, because like to delve in hockey. We've got that still 14 games now. We got a game started right now. A game will start in the rain delay. Braves and Tigers. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Just got 2 plays tonight, and both of them in the MLB, but only one for sale, and that's my best bet. So if you're ready to hop on my best bet, it has not started yet, but it'll be starting very soon. Hop on that with me. Let's cash. I've been on the little road with these best bets, looking to continue my profit, and ready to get this Monday started, man.
That's right. Get this money started here with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results, 344 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. So you can verify those numbers when you go over to Wayne's handicapper page. Just go down to Pick History. That's where you're going to find all of Wayne's plays. You can see them there. So get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge Premium. You can see the results there. Also, the last 30 days is showing profit. Last 7 days, yesterday with a good win. The play of the day here, that's his $19 premium from baseballs up there. Of course, the longer term pass, sign up for 3, 7, or 30 all sports pass. Get all of Wayne's premiums for that period of time you select. When you go over to his handicapper page and you make that purchase. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I appreciate you for having me, Tony. Y'all take care tonight, Pick Dog family.
Got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive. So, guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Update on this Braves Tigers game. It's in a rain delay. It looks like a 4:40 p.m. start. We'll update you as throughout the afternoon here. Keep an eye on that one. But rain delay there if you're looking for that 6:40 game Eastern. It is delayed here. And it looks like we've got a 4:40 time in there. We'll see how that rolls. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Up next, we will look for what we found. Rod Zawacky, you'll catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, hope you catch him every day here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time with that morning show. You've got Mitch, you've got Chris, and Rod with that morning show every day. And, of course, the Puck Dogs video series. Will there be any more? Well, we don't know. Well, if they got to continue that series between the Panthers and Vegas. Let's bring in Rod right now. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much. Enjoying this Tuesday afternoon, and definitely looking forward to tonight's action. So, congrats to the Denver Nuggets on winning the championship. Good job.
Good job.
Denver's won a lot of championships this season. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
The City of Champions in Denver.
Yeah.
They won the Cup last year. They got the NBA championship this year. They won the lacrosse championship. They won the hockey championship. So, yeah, definitely won some.
Just waiting for the Rockies. The Rockies made a World Series some time ago. We're still waiting to see what they
some time ago.
Yeah,
they're a little bit. I think they're a little bit away. They're getting a little bit away from it.
A little bit away. Yeah, it's just a little bit away from that happening again. I think we're talking 90s baseball. I can't remember when they were in the World
90s,
Series.
Yeah, I was going to say, remember?
Someone will figure it out, no doubt. All right, here we go. Tonight, we're going here with this Diamondbacks team at home against the Phillies. We see the Phillies favored here at -135, total of 9.
Yeah, you look at the Phillies, definitely favored in the spot, but why? I don't get this. Wrong team's favored. The Diamondbacks have been the hotter team. Phillies have been awful on the road, as we said yesterday. The Diamondbacks got us a nice win. Diamondbacks 8-0 in their last 8 at home versus a team with a losing record. Wheeler's on the mound for the Phillies here, and definitely he's being overvalued in this spot here. As you know, he doesn't pitch so well in night games. 0-3 with a 5.72 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP in night games is Wheeler. So going against this hot Diamondbacks lineup, I think the Phillies are in trouble again. And you look on the other side. Sure, Zach Davies going for the Diamondbacks here. Definitely, he's been serviceable. He hasn't been pitching lights out, but he's definitely not been the worst. I think both starters give up a few runs here, and then when you turn to the bullpen, this Phillies bullpen over the last 5 games has been absolutely dreadful. Given they got an 8.64 ERA over their last 5 games, and that's just not going to get it done. You see, just like we've seen yesterday, the Phillies got a lead and they were looking pretty good, and then that bullpen came to play, and look what happened. They gave up a whole bunch, and the Diamondbacks took a lead. Diamondbacks hung on. Kind of upset that they gave up that one at the top of the ninth for the little run line for us there, but still, I think we're going to go right back to Arizona here. Phillies 2-7 in the last 9 on the road. So as we said yesterday, they don't play so well on the road. Also 1-7 in the last 8 versus a right-handed starter. You'd rather D-backs. This trade has been hot.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Of course, get the Diamondbacks. Do your line shopping, because some of these 20-cent lines you're going to have to get plus 114, plus 115. You find a dime line, you get plus 125. That's why you definitely want to go out there and shop for lines. Best way to shop for lines is look at the baseball lines and see what the spreads are. When you got a favorite like the Phillies at -135, look at what the underdog brings back. Underdog brings back at the sharpest book in the world plus 125. Some of the square books out there plus 115, plus 114. Why would you sign up for that book when you see that big line, that look big spread there, 20 cents line? Get the 10 cents lines, guys. Do your shopping. That's the best winning information you can do. That's why I like to show the sharpest line in the world, so you guys can compare your lines and go out there and shop for the better lines. Because when you play a lot of these baseball games, play a lot of volume, it really makes a difference there. And again, as you said, I scratched my head. Phillies not the same team on the road. They struggle with run production on the road. Wheeler struggles on the road with an ERA over 5. The bullpen has an ERA over 5. They don't produce many runs on the road. And this is kind of a home road split game. D-backs fantastic at home.
Yeah, the D-backs have been great at home, as I said, 8-0 in their last 8 at home versus a team with a losing record. And, even Zach Davies definitely hasn't been the lights-out starter for them, but this team gets behind him and gives them some run support because they're 4-1 in his 5 starts this season. So keep riding the D-backs. Love them here. Looks funny to give us this close price. I think they're trying to scare us onto Zach Wheeler, going, Zach Wheeler's the best. He should be the favorite. No,
they were a division champion last year. These are the Diamondbacks. Well, look at the standings. Look at the standing. D-backs to top of the MLS. You know what? I mean, geez. That's to me. Nope, not at all. That got my attention too when I saw that. I said, "We got to be kidding me!" And yesterday, that was another situation that got my attention. All right, the tension in Vegas right now, as you know, Rod, is this one: will the hockey season get extended? Will there be a game? Will there be a game 6? We got the Golden Knights, big favorites now, minus 191. We even see that puck line up there on the Panthers side, but we see the total now at 6 here between these two.
Yeah, this you see everybody's on the Knights here in this one, thinking that's it, it's all over, and with good reason. If you watch Game 1 and 2, if Game 1 and 2 are any indication of what it's like playing in Vegas, sayonara. They're gonna be a tough spot here for the Panthers. But I like this over 6. Look, they're giving us plus money to take this over 6. And as I said, I go, if you want to beat this Knights team, you got to get at least 4 in my book. And I think we do see some goals here. I also like the over in the first period again. I know it didn't hit last game where we only got 1, but that goal came with a minute 30 into that first period. I think the over first period in this one, I think we easily get 2 goals. I think one each. One each in this first period. You get us well up and over on the way to get over the 6. I like the over 6 in this one as the play, and I do think it's over.
Over 6, and we talked about this before. Is that you get an elimination game, and what happens to teams that are down a goal, down 2 goals? That goalie gets pulled early, and it opens the door for more scoring.
And it just opens it exactly. It opens the door for way more scoring, and I think the Panthers are going to leave it all wide open. And what we've seen also from these Panthers is when they do push forward and they do leave their back end a little bit more wide open, they're prone to giving up goals as well. They've given up goals a bunch when they pitched in with the D. We've seen them the other team bounce back and ride and book one in on them. So I think we're going to have a wide open game tonight.
Yeah,
lots of goals. Definitely going to be a great game.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what came to mind in the first 2 games in Vegas with all that open ice that Vegas had to skate in.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Panthers were pressing. They decided they should press, and you know what? Vegas just waits for you to snag a defenseman behind you, and then they just boom, they're gone. Next, they're going 3-on-2, and you got 1 D-man and 1 forward, and you're in trouble in that situation. And the Knights capitalized on those. We see it in Game 1 where it was a 5-2 final, and we see it in Game 2 where it was a 7-2 final. So these Knights have been 12-4. If I do the math in Game 1 and 2 in the 2 games in Vegas. Well, that's 14, so that's 7-7 an average in both games in this Vegas, and the numbers at 6. Take the over.
Take the over there, and it looks like a lot of crowds starting to storm. Watching some live coverage there from Vegas. A good scene there in Vegas for the Stanley Cup Finals, as it was in LA Live when they were in LA, had hosted a few years ago. We got the Golden Knights over 6 from Ron. This one is baseball pick here. This baseball pick here in the game is going to be Diamondbacks plus 114 here against the Phillies, and this one will have a start time here 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, still 15 games on the card because the Atlanta Braves and Detroit Tigers are on a rain delay. We look probably at a 7:40 Eastern time start. That's what I see here, possibly. So big card tonight, baseball, 15 single on the board in NHL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And it's Tackle the Book Tuesday. I've got a nice 5-pack. I've got 5 plays going over at Pick Dogs Premium. 4 MLB selections I love, and then one side on in this NHL game. You can scoop that NHL $19 sniper play singly, or it's included in my Tackle the Books Tuesday. Scoop that up. Use the promo code at PICK at checkout. Save 15% off your purchases over at Pick Dogs Premium. Or, hey, use that 2-for-1 capper deal. Pair me up with another one of the other hot handicappers we got going over at Pick Dogs Premium. Always, like I said, 2 heads better than 1. And take a great advantage of that 2-for-1 capper deal.
Take advantage of it.
There.
Indeed.
Pick Dogs Premium.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Rod with that long-term passes. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off for with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs. All right, Rod, as always, great having the show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But everybody know they can catch in the mornings as well. And if we continue the Stanley Cup Finals, there will be some more Puck Dog video series.
Yeah, definitely. If there's Game 6, me and Chris will definitely shoot another Puck Dogs video for you on that Game 6 action. So definitely like, subscribe, that way you get notified with all the content. You don't miss out on any of it. There's so much content going on over here at Pick Dogs between Mike Davis, Ron Romanelli, Jay. We've got Nick Mankin doing his Nerfies and Yerfies. Eric's over there too. So lots of content to make sure you tune in. Definitely appreciate everybody checking all that out. And tune in the morning show. Me, Chris, and Mitch always have a good time. Man, it was one of those rough mornings for me this morning, but definitely made it to the show. It was one of those ones you click on the link to join the morning show, and it decided it was like, no, we're going to send me to an old browser I haven't used in forever. And I'm like, I couldn't get it out of there. Couldn't get it out of there at all. I was like, oh no, this is not good. So yeah, I definitely had some fun this morning, but definitely tune in. Always a good time.
Indeed. Tune in there. Check them out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow here on the drive-thru.
Yeah, definitely. You have yourself a good night, Tony, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Got it. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap here at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We'll get to my pick, and then we will do the recap for you. So let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Get my game up here tonight. As we're going to be looking at no, we're not looking at that game. We're going to be looking at the game late nighter here between the Guardians and the Padres going head-to-head. And we're going to go under 7.5 here with this Guardians and Padres. I looked at the weather forecast in this game, and I saw high humidity in this one, which will definitely not favor scoring in this game. In San Diego here, and in this spot, you got Tanner Bybee, who's put up some pretty good numbers. Keeps that whip down to 1.13, pretty good K rate at 23%. Limits the home runs. Joe Musgrove. He's got an ERA over 4. Remember, he did have that start in Mexico City, which is going to increase that ERA a little bit. 23% strikeout rate, ground balls 41%. Guardians, though, 18-8 to the under against good bullpens. The bullpens with a whip of 1.25 or better. Padres, 24-11 to the under, facing a good bullpen with a whip of 1.35 or better. So both lineups are going to be facing some pretty good bullpen pitching tonight. And, of course, Padres have been to the under, 9-1 to the under when they face a pitcher that limits home runs production to half a home run per 9 innings or less. Bybee doesn't give up home runs, and the Padres, when they face those type of pitchers, we've seen 9 out of 10 times this season the under come in. Cleveland has struggled to score on right-handed pitchers. We know the Padres have struggled with run production at home. We'll go under 7.5 here. The forecast was for high humidity in San Diego today. Guardians and Padres under the total of 7.5 runs. Humidity in that day, not dry conditions there with the low humidity, the high humidity there. Thick marine layer in San Diego. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium. Tonight, I have 4 premium plays on the board tonight up there. We've got the best bet for Major League Baseball, also a 3-pack for Major League Baseball, 4 premiums on the board. You can also get on board with my long-term pass, 3, 7, or 30-hour sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout will save 15% off. Use that promo code. And, of course, also 2-for-1 cap promotion. You can add another capper with me on my long-term passes, save even more money there. 4 premium plays on the board right now for me over at Pick Dodge Premium, so get on board with it. My best bet play is a standalone play on the board at $19. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. It is now time for the recap, so let's recap the plays from today's show. Damian like the Reds, minus 102 against the Royals. Tony Brown, Dodgers, run line, lay the run and a half, plus 102. Against the White Sox, we got Ninos on the Brewers, plus 110 against the Twins. Shane like the Athletics, plus 186 here against the Rays. Jay was on the Blue Jays, lay the minus 118 against the Orioles. Wayne, Nationals, plus 220 against the Astros. Rod on the D-backs, plus 114 against the Phillies. Guardians, Padres, under 7.5. And I will also like the Rod's pick here on the D-backs with the plus 20, plus 114 here against the Phillies. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition here of the drive-thru. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place, and they will give out the place right here on the show for the action on Wednesday. Don't forget, always get started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. each time. You got Mitch, you got Chris, you got Rod Zawacky with that morning show here. So make sure you guys tune into that. Rod, we got the Ron Romanelli's breakdown from Major League Baseball. We got Nick Mitkin with his Nerfies, Your Fees. We've got Brandon Mills with their UFC show on Saturday. Mills with his prop video show every day here on the show over on Pick Dogs. Mike Davis, his live shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Also his prize picks. He also has his first 5 inning picks. Lots of content here on the channel, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, so when these videos drop, you get them in real time to get the best numbers. And of course, don't forget Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, his betting tools show, and his Nerfy and Your Feet plays. All right, let's continue on the show, and we're going to do it for tonight's show. So let's go ahead and bring our cappers